second straight night, the Pirates came through with a walk-off win against the Reds, their third game-ending knock in the first 2 weeks. With a Paul Maholm win today, the Bucks will sweep away Bronson Arroyo and the Reds, continuing to provide notice that it's not only a new season, but a different ball club in the Burgh in 2010. The series finale is next from a festive North Side. This is the ticket to have today, and fans, young and old alike, hoping to see some more thrills provided by the Bucks. Shirts provided, game jerseys, replicas of Andy LaRoche. Those will look great at school tomorrow, no doubt about it. Pittsburgh Pirates getting set to play Game 3 of a 3-game set with the Cincinnati Reds and the Bucks, hoping to break out the brooms. Hi again, everybody, along with Bob Walk. I'm Tim Neverett. Bucks did it again last night. Their second consecutive walk-off win over the Reds. They have 3 for the season now. That's half as many walk-offs as they had in 2009.
Walks is a good name for what happened last night in the 9th inning. Cordero hadn't walked anybody all year to this point. After giving up a leadoff single, he proceeded to walk the bases loaded. But it's not all just because the guy was wild. You got to show some patience at the plate and allow him to walk you. And the Pirates were able to have that patience. And then, of course, Garrett Jones, he took advantage of everything with a ball off the wall to end the game.
And a good celebration here, the kind the Pirates have been seeing a lot lately. The bullpen deserves a lot of credit. DJ Carrasco gave up 1 run, but Evan Meek and Jack Tashner came in and shut the door on Cincinnati.
Yeah, another tough start by a starting pitcher. The bullpen definitely deserved to get that win last night, and Tashner got the W.
Tashner got the win in relief, but the Pirates hoping to get the starters going. They've been a little inconsistent. Zach Duke's been okay, but the rest of the guys need to keep up.
Yeah, I look at it like this. Our starters have been very shaky, but we're a game over 500, so I'm still very positive. I think that this is a good sign for the rest of the year because the starters are going to pitch better. There's today's starters. Bronson Arroyo, veteran right-hander. Paul Maholm, he's due, and I think he's going to go out there this afternoon and really shut down these Cincinnati Reds.
Bronson Arroyo against Paul Maholm. That's the matchup. Memories being made outside PNC Park today. On guard. Get ready as the Bucks and Cincinnati Reds get set to play Game 3. The lineups and first pitch around the corner.
Moving forward.
Welcome back into PNC Park. An overcast day, a little bit brisk, 44 degrees. But the hardy fans of Pittsburgh handle this weather pretty well. Cincinnati Reds.
Look at it this way: we can't complain about weather the way it's been up to this point. You know, a couple of cool days. You know, that's going to happen now and then.
Dusty Baker, the skipper of the Reds, said his team needs a win today, and this is the order he sends out. Drew Stubbs, Orlando Cabrera, Joey Votto, and Brandon Phillips. Career against Paul Maholm has some pretty good numbers. Johnny Gomes in left, Ryan Hannigan catching again today. Jay Bruce, Paul Janisch, and Bronson Arroyo batting 9th. Defensively for the Pirates, the outfield, Millage and McCutchen in left, and Ryan Church gets a start in right field today. Infield looks a little different. Bobby Crosby at third, Delwyn Young at second, Garrett Jones at first, and Jason Jaramillo starts catching Paul Maholm.
Paul would just love to go out there today and throw a good solid 7 innings, get a win, even that record out at 1. His good buddy, Zach, is off to an excellent start, and Paul wants to join in. Get that ERA down 5.7. That's no fun, I'm sure, for Paul looking up at that. And just 11 innings through the first couple of starts. He needs to go deeper into ball games. Opponent batting average over 300. He wants to do some good work on that. And as we know, Paul is a much better pitcher. And it is against a hungry team. You mentioned that Dusty says they got to win today. They've lost 4 in a row. The Reds have, and that's the longest streak in any direction, up or down, in the NL right now. So Paul's going to go against a team that's kind of desperate right now for a win. They started the season out very well at 5-1.
They had all five of their wins have come in their final at bat, whether it's been a walk-off or in the 8th inning. So calling the balls and strikes today, Rob Drake. Joe West at first, Angel Hernandez at second, and last night's home plate umpire, now at third today, Paul Schreiber. Here comes Drew Stubbs, the center fielder, right-handed hitter to lead off against Paul Maholm. Maholm's had some success against the Reds here at PNC Park in his career. He's 3-1 against them.
You see Stubbs off to a slow start with the bat, the .180.
Stubbs didn't start in last night's game. Came in late, played some center field.
They have high hopes for him.
Stubbs out of the University of Texas. And there is Bobby Crosby getting a start at third base today. Stubbs shows bunt. Ball 1 is called. We are underway.
A little different look to the infield than we've had yet this year.
2-0 to Stubbs. It's important for any manager, and certainly John Russell trying to get at bats for Bobby Crosby, a veteran player. You look at Delwyn Young, a very versatile player. Ground ball wide to third. And Ryan Church in right field getting more at bats. And it was Church last night that came up with the big pinch hit in the 9th with 1 out.
Kind of
got it going.
Traditionally, managers like to use the Sunday games for that, because you have a day game after a night game. So it's nice to let your veterans, a couple of them, get a day off and get the bench guys on there. Although in our case, it's the veterans that are getting out there, and the youngsters are getting to sit on the bench.
Jason Jaramillo getting a start. Ryan Doumit has done the bulk of the work so far this year. Ryan getting the day off following 2 straight night games. Full count now to Stubbs. Although what we've seen so far in the early going, Bob, Doumit has been catching those day after the night games.
Well, it's a little different with the Pirates because their catcher hits in the middle of the lineup.
3-2 to left field, and Millage is there for the out.
Millage perfectly placed right there in the middle of left center. Just about anybody else that Stubbs hits that ball against is going to be a double, but Millage filling that gap, didn't have to move much at all.
Who is that masked man? Millage wore the mask last night, and he had it up over his nose for a while. Doing what he can to stay warm. Batter is the shortstop, Orlando Cabrera. You know, these guys who grew up in Florida, they're not used to this 40-degree temperature. Their blood hasn't thickened yet. People from the Northeast, this is not a bad day.
I don't know.
It's not exactly shorts and suntanning weather.
Cold.
Yeah. Looks like he ate a hockey puck for breakfast.
Got everything. He's got the gloves, the hat. Got it all.
2-1 to Cabrera. Now this is football weather today. No question about it. But as you pointed out earlier, no complaints about the weather. It's been good so far this season. Even though we had a rain delay the other night of a little more than an hour. Once the rain passed through, it was fine. 3-1 pitch coming to the Red shortstop. And he walked him. So Mahalam puts Cabrera at first base for Joey Votto. And Votto had a hot bat last night. 3 out of 4. 2 singles, a double, a run batted in, a stolen base. And he scored twice. So Votto, after sitting out Friday's game,
he's a tough out.
Had a big night last night. 310. You see the average. So Joey Votto at the plate to throw over by Mahalam. And he gets back.
Phillips in that 3-4 spot. That's a huge part of their offense. Those guys have to carry a lot of the load. Votto usually does his share. Phillips also.
Throw to first as Cabrera made some sort of motion toward Mahalam. Distract him.
Maybe he was thinking about running. He's talking to Joe West about the step. Joe West, the first base umpire. Nice little quick pitch. Paul didn't have hardly any kick at all that time. Just real quick to the plate. And that's great to do as long as it takes nothing away from your pitches. And obviously on that one, nice tight slider right to the outside corner. Didn't hurt his pitch at all.
And the throw over.
A traditional light kick.
Is Paul close to that imaginary line? That
yeah, anybody that has a good move does that. He and Duke both. They put their foot down right on the imaginary line. Probably even over it a little bit.
Good pitch on the outside corner. 0-2 to Votto. Votto is from hockey country, Brampton, Ontario. Cabrera has his lead from first base, and the pitch to Votto is outside. Ball 1-1-2. Joey had a tough year last year. Lost his father suddenly, dealt with the anxiety of that and depression, missed some games, but still managed in the games that he did play in. It was over 100 to do very well offensively. Strikes out. 2 away in the top of the first.
It's something that we don't do very often. It's make Votto look bad on a swing. You can see how uncomfortable he was with that. Much as the bat gets out there in front, really kind of a funky follow through with his upper body.
1 home run and 7 runs knocked in for Brandon Phillips. Cabrera gets back. He has had good success against the Pirate left-hander. .412 the average, 14 out of 34, and he lines this one hard and foul. Talk about run producers. It's not often you see a second baseman on the cleanup spot, but Brandon Phillips is not your atypical second baseman when it comes to slugging. Last year, 98 runs batted in. The second highest total ever by a Red second baseman since Hall of Famer Joe Morgan knocked in 110 in 1976. Nothing in 1 to Phillips. Keeping a close eye on Cabrera.
And middle infielders, usually the emphasis is more on defense than offensive prowess. Not the case with Phillips, although he can play some D also. He's definitely a quality two-way guy.
There's a strike. 0-2. Yeah, 2008 he won a Gold Glove. So Phillips gets it done offensively and defensively. Here today, batting with 2 out and a runner aboard in the top of the first. Sits safely in 6 of his last 8 games. 0-2. Got him. Nice pitch. Paul Maholm. And Brandon Phillips is dismissed. Maholm finds a way. Drops in for strike 3. Pirates coming to the plate when we come back. Here is John Russell's lineup for today's finale against Bronson Arroyo and the Reds, brought to you by Suzuki. Delwyn Young moves over to second and leads off. McCutcheon and Millage 2-3. Jones in the cleanup spot, and Ryan Church hitting .400 against Bronson Arroyo in his career. Bobby Crosby starts at third. Jaramillo behind the plate. Maholm in the 8th spot, and Cedeno batting 9th. Bronson Arroyo delivers the first pitch to Delwyn Young, high, ball 1. His numbers 5 out of 15. 1-0 pitch. 1-1. And who can forget the spring that Delwyn Young had? There was some question whether or not he would make the team going into spring. There was a lot of open spots on the bench, but he solidified that himself pretty early on. Slaps it to short. Cabrera throws him out, and there is one away. But behind Bronson Arroyo, the Reds look like this defensively. Johnny Gomes, Drew Stubbs, and Jay Bruce left to right. Giannis at third. Cabrera, Phillips, and Votto the infield, with Brian Hannigan back behind the plate. Bronson Arroyo.
Bronson off to a pretty good start. He's not going to be real flashy and power ball by anybody. He has to pitch. And he's been pitching well. You see his opposition batting average was at 192, I think I just saw. That's an outstanding number. Bronson's never been a guy that's gone out there just with pure stuff. He pitches, changes speeds, uses control both sides of the plate. Never been afraid of the bat, even when he came up with the Pirates as a very young guy right out of the minor leagues. One thing you noticed right away is he went right at the big league hitters.
McCutcheon goes right at that pitch and drives it deep to center, but Drew Stubbs catches up with it, 2 away.
We've seen a lot of youngsters. They come up here and they get overawed, and they think they got to constantly make perfect pitches, and they're a little afraid of the big league hitters, a little afraid of their bats, and they have a problem throwing strikes. Simple as that. That wasn't the case. like to see your young guys come up and do like Arroyo did, and whatever happens, get them out or not, at least go after the hitters.
Strike to lasting Smilich. Notice the short sleeves too, Bob. Everybody else in the Reds has either 3/4 or long sleeves. He's got those short sleeves on in the cold weather.
I can understand that. I preferred it had to be really, really cold for me to put long sleeves on. I did not like pitching that. I think there's a lot of pitchers that feel that way. They want that freedom, especially us hard throwers.
Is that right? Are there any in the room? I was looking behind me to see if there was one here.
Steve threw pretty hard. He's next door.
1-2 to Milledge. Arroyo into the Y. Now the 1-2 delivery. 2-2.
That fastball up and in at 88. That's a pretty good spot for Arroyo. He'll maybe, depending on the radar gun, he'll put a 90 up occasionally.
To the right side, and Votto make the catch. The Pirates go quietly in the first. 1, 2, 3. An 11 pitch inning for Bronson Arroyo.
No score. We go to the top of the second. Paul Maholm, good first inning, couple of strikeouts. Going to take a look at him. This was the first one where he got Votto, and Votto with a bad-looking swing. Perfect pitch outside corner. Watch Phillips' ball. Now this ball looks really low. He get called out on strikes. Didn't like it. Argued with the umpire. Do you see where that crossed his knee? Just above the knee. Big curveball. A lot of drop right at the end. That's why by the time it got to Jaramillo, it looked like it was inches off the dirt. But when it came across that front knee, is about maybe 2 inches above it, and you can see that perfectly from that side shot. That was high enough.
It's a great example of why it's a strike where it crosses the plate as opposed to where it's caught. Gomes down the short, backhanded by Cedeno, leaping throw, got him.
How about that? He threw him out by 2 steps. You think, well, if you're going to get him at all, it's going to be a bang-bang play. Cedeno going into the hole, on the grass, leaps up, 2 steps. Some athleticism and an arm. Accuracy, whole package.
Pitcher's always appreciative of a play like that. Rockin' Ronnie Cedeno.
Ronnie's off to a pretty good start this year. He's a rock in that batting average, making plays like that.
He's hit 342. And had another nice defensive play last night. Ryan Hannigan puts it the 0-1, count even a ball and a strike. Hannigan catching 2 of the 3 games against the Pirates. Last night, Ramon Hernandez was behind the plate. Hannigan's a pretty solid catcher. The Reds have 2 decent ones.
I'm gonna watch that Cedeno play. There it is. Look at that shot. How far he is out on the grass. He's a good 2-3 steps out on the outfield grass. And I just can't get over how easy he got the out at first base.
He threw off his front foot. That's not an easy throw to make off your front foot when you're.
No, that's all arm. He's got all of his momentum. He really, nothing really as far as planning and throwing. That's just jumping in the air and using nothing but your arm to get the ball over there. The accuracy was perfect. That's the type of defense he is very capable of playing. Early in his career, maybe the consistency hasn't been there on defense, but that'll come with maturity.
2-2, little comeback here, and a snare by Mahalo. If things are going well, they're going well.
Yeah, Paul, when he first got to the big leagues, his defense was a little shaky, but he's getting better and better. He had the move to get this ball, a little quick footwork, reach out there and snag it. Remember that play he made in San Francisco? That was just phenomenal.
That was outstanding. Made the snow cone catch on the line drive right there, but he's been doing the job with the glove this week.
I don't think we will see a better play defensively by a pitcher all year than that play that Paul made in San Francisco, where he flipped the ball blindly to first base
while doing a somersault,
while rolling in the grass. Yeah, that was an amazing defensive effort by Paul.
2-0 to Jay Bruce.
That's a case of guys coming up here and knowing that they do have some weaknesses in their game and working on it. And Paul was not very good at the after throwing the ball, playing some defense, helping yourself out. Now he is more than adequate at that, and he's become outstanding at holding runners on. Pickoff move is one of the best. Ancillary items are very good for Paul.
3-1. Saw Joe Kerrigan yesterday. They had PFPs going on, pitchers fielding practice. And you don't see that a lot during the regular season. You see that, almost on a daily basis in spring training. But just yesterday, he had the pitchers out working on their fielding. Garrett Jones, a diving stab, tossed to Mahal, he got him.
Got the defense for throwing at him now.
Bucks throwing the leather around, and Garrett Jones with a highlight reel grab. This one was ticketed for right field off the bat of Jay Bruce, but Garrett Jones made sure that it didn't get there. Garrett Jones took a ball from Bronson Arroyo. 1 ball and no strikes. No score. Bottom of the second. And a strike is called there. The one thing about Bronson Arroyo, Garrett Jones certainly knows this, Bob. He's going to see not just one, not two, but maybe 3 different types of curveballs. A lot of different breaking pitches Arroyo will throw. And Jones up in the air to left. Long run this time for Gomes, and he'll make the catch. Well, Jones is out, but made a play with the glove to retire Jay Bruce. How about this one?
Well, the second inning, we're going to definitely remember it for the defense. The Cedeno play. And then that, you know, I asked Garrett when we were down in Arizona. You remember he moved in and looked a little shaky at first base, and I talked to him about that, and he said, well, he hadn't played first base at all in spring training. I thought he had 1 game there, but he didn't remember it.
It wasn't that memorable, apparently.
No. But he told me, he said that he had forgotten how much quicker everything is at first base because he spent so much time in the outfield, and that when he does come to first base, now he's really going to have to refocus, say, hey, I got to be ready for the speed of the game.
Brian Church hits it sharply right to Gomes, 2 away.
But he definitely was ready for the speed of the game early on in that play. That was a rocket, and he had to move quick to make the play.
Think of the play that he made with a diving snare of a line drive in San Francisco to end up saving that one. The Pirates would win a 1-run ball game against the Giants, and it was Jones who had moved in from right field during the game as part of a switch that put Brian Church into right field. Bobby Crosby takes a strike, 0-1. Inside 1-1. Crosby's a guy that you like to see play a little bit more if you can. He plays third, plays first, can play short. Pretty versatile player after spending the majority of his career with Oakland as a shortstop. But last year appeared in 56 games with the Athletics at first base. Arroyo's 1-2. Do it again.
Arroyo that time drop it down just a little bit. That's another thing he does as far as mixing the different speeds. He also gives you different arm angles as he a little below 3/4 with that fastball. Tried to just paint it on the outside corner. Comes back, same thing. Drop down a little bit. That was a breaking ball. So he shows you the fastball out there and then tries to get you to think it's coming again. When you see that arm come down, this time it was the breaking ball, but Crosby wouldn't chase.
Stays 2-2. Bobby Crosby hit a home run on the road trip in Arizona. It's pretty well hit too. The ball seems to carry well in Arizona, but Crosby hit that ball rather well. Count full, 3-2.
Not chasing. There's a couple breaking balls that just bent off the outside corners. Showing a lot of discipline.
Getting hungry, Bob?
No, pretty good.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And Crosby is down on strikes. Tuesday in San Francisco, Paul Mahala made the best play in baseball that day. How about that one?
Totally blind, just using his glove to shovel over his shoulder.
And today a snow cone catch on this line drive. Off the bat of Hannigan.
I do not think we're going to see a better defensive play by a pitcher this year than that rolling somersault, no look, shovel pass for the out that Paul was able to pull off in San Francisco. It was a great play.
Paul Janisch takes the ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Janisch, the third baseman today, number 8 hitter in the Reds order. 1 ball, 1 strike. And this one to Jones. He climbs the ladder for the out.
He had to be very careful not to leave his feet too soon. He had to time it just right because it wasn't hit that hard. It wasn't like a bullet. This came off either the end of the bat or maybe a jam shot. I don't know. Well, off the end, he's got to wait and time it to get up there to make that play. About 6'5", used it all.
Then Arroyo takes a strike. This isn't easy because it's not, as you say, a bullet hit right at you.
Yeah, it's not just pure reaction. He actually has to set his feet, wait, and then get up to make the play.
Arroyo wears one of those double flapped helmets that you like so much.
Bronson walks to the beat of a different drummer than Saunders does.
Literally.
It fits his personality, I think.
Hitting 167. There you go. Well, the ball girls.
It must be the hair. If you have longer hair, that extra ear flap kind of holds it in place.
He's got the locks.
Yeah,
I don't know whose hair is longer, Bronson's or the ball girls. Well, maybe she beats him by maybe a foot.
Not that close, really.
1-2. 2-2 now to Arroyo. You mentioned drummer. He's not a drummer. He's a guitar player and a singer. Many people know about his musical exploits. And he ended up getting carpal tunnel during, I believe, his last season with the Red Sox. So what he does now is during the season, he either limits or stays away from playing the guitar.
A couple years ago, he was doing some in-season concerts and stuff, and he was getting knocked around out on the field a little bit. He told me that he had made a decision that the music was going to have to definitely take a back seat during the summertime, and he'll wait for the off season or better yet after he retires to really pursue that.
Arroyo beats that ball right off his foot.
That would be your the foot for the bass drum, or no? Is that the
hi-hat?
Yeah, the thing that the cymbals
the hi-hat
go together. Is that what you call that? Hi-hat? The ones that snap together.
Yeah.
You open up. I'm not sure that's 100% accurate.
I'm telling you.
I thought the hi-hat are the cymbals that are way up high.
No, that's just the one that smashes together. Strike 3 and Arroyo's down. Well, people were creating a song of a different type today, the happy birthday song. And how about Mr. Blast today, was being serenaded last inning by many of his people who sit down below. 68 years old today. And he's got a monitor in his booth. He's pretending not to look at it. Well, now he's looking.
Look at that fresh young face in the graphic. No, not that one. There it is.
There you go.
Oh, what a character.
He grew up a Cleveland Indians fan in 1960. Pirates drafted him. They win the World Series, and he comes into camp in '61 with all these World Series guys. Just beat the Yankees. And he has been a Pirate ever since.
Steve's wondering, what are they saying now?
Stubbs knocks this one out of play.
He figures I'm getting on him about something. Well, it's his birthday, so I'm going to take it easy on him.
Whose leg kick was higher, his or Bronson Arroyo's?
Bronson.
Steve had a pretty good kick.
Bronson definitely. He's got the dead straight leg left. It's very impressive.
2-2. 3-2. Arroyo's is more like what Marichal had. When it's extended straight out. I think Marichal actually pointed his heel up to the sky.
Yeah, but Marichal got it almost vertical.
Where we enter the ballpark in San Francisco, there's a statue of him there. It's got the foot fully extended up in the air. 3-2. Broken bat roller down to Crosby. And Maholm gets the Reds in order for the second straight inning. They're 2.5. No score at PNC Park.
Catch yourself some meat. Get some meat.
Bottom of the third inning, no score. Pens and Sens tonight, game 3. Here's Jaramillo. Takes the first pitch from Bronson Arroyo for a strike with Bob Walk. Tim Neverett with you at PNC Park. Jaramillo getting a start on this Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, both these pitchers have pretty good pace going. Working quick, filling up the strike zone.
Jaramillo takes another strike. Well, Maholm walked Cabrera, but other than that, he has retired each hitter he's faced, including Drew Stubbs twice. And the Pirates have gone down in order in each of the first 2 innings. They've been at the plate, and Jaramillo up in the air, shallow left center field. Cabrera way out, backpedaling. He makes the catch for the first out. Tonight, Sidney Crosby and the Penguins are in Ottawa for Game 3 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals against the Senators. Right here on FSN Pittsburgh, the series tied at 1 game apiece. Our coverage begins at 6 o'clock with Penguins Face-Off, presented by Trib Total Media. It is a 6:30 tilt in the capital city of Canada tonight.
Watch that leg kick there. You can see it real good. Royal gets his the toe of his baseball cleats, I would say, up to about the bill of his cap. That's about as good as you see anybody in the game today doing. It's very smooth too. Normally a big leg kick, sometimes you get that violent type wind up, but he's just very nice and smooth. Gets it up there, kind of snaps it down.
Holland picked up by Arroyo, makes the play, and Arroyo has retired 8 to start the ballgame. Look at the leg kick again of Bronson Arroyo. How high he gets that.
It's up the top of his hat.
How about Steve Blass? Where does he go? Gets the knee up there. Didn't get the toe up there, but he got the knee up there. 33-year-old Bronson Arroyo. Strike ball rather that came in high to Cedeno. Good numbers offensively for Ronnie. Hit his first home run of the season last night. Flares this one out of play. 1-1 to Cedeno. Worked in the winter in Venezuela.
I don't think you could ask for more than what we've gotten out of Ronnie so far at this point. Playing very well, both on offense, defense.
And last night, he provided some offense in the second inning off Johnny Cueto. He hit a towering fly ball that just cleared the wall for his first home run. Last year, a career high 10 home runs combined between Seattle and the Pirates.
He was the author on our first ninth inning win this year, wasn't he? Yeah, the first one we had.
And Cedeno looks at strike 3, and Bronson Arroyo is perfect through the first 3 innings.
And by Day Automotive, we're going to make your day.
Andy LaRoche shirt day today on a kid's Sunday. No score. Get into the top of the 4th. Youngsters having a good time. Hope they get some use out of that broom afterward. Pirates have taken the first 2 games of this 3-game set.
Good day to have an extra shirt on.
Yes, it is. Could use an extra one up here. Didn't bring one today. Orlando Cabrera takes a strike. He has been the only ball player in the game to reach base at all. 0-1. 1-1.
Didn't miss by much. Both pitchers are right around that strike zone very consistently.
And the first hit of the game comes off the bat of Orlando Cabrera. Leadoff single here in the 4th. Talking about nobody getting a hit. No Atlanta Brave got a hit last night. For the Colorado Rockies, Ubaldo is beautiful. Ubaldo Jimenez. And what a catch by Dexter Fowler to preserve the no-hitter. Brian McCann grounds out to Clint Barmas. Todd Helton's got the ball, and Ubaldo Jimenez, the first no-hitter in Colorado Rockies history. His last pitch, Bob, the last pitch of the game to Brian McCann, 97 miles an hour. Fowler flies to left. There is one out.
I was wondering when I heard about it. I wasn't sure where they were playing. I was curious if it was Coors Field or not, but it was on the road. There's only been one in Coors Field. Is that correct?
Yes, and
the Dodger pitcher. I don't think it was pitching for the Dodgers at the time.
Chapel Park?
No, the tornado guy.
Oh, the tornado guy.
Yeah, with the big spin. Turn his back to the home plate.
come to us in a minute.
Tim, I can't believe you're not getting this.
Thinking Louis Tiant, but that's way too long ago.
I think no, he's not from Japan either. He's from Cuba.
No, I know it.
Nomo. Yeah, Nomo. That's right.
Dale Nomo.
Yeah, thank you. Trailer.
1 on and 1 out for the Reds. Brandon Phillips at the plate.
Yeah, isn't he the only one that...
He is, yes. Now that you mention it. Last night, the Mets in St. Louis, they were working on a triple-header. They ended up playing better than 2 games. They've got the morning to rest. 20 innings last night, 1-0. The Mets. And with the Pirates win over the Reds and the Mets win over St. Louis, pick up the paper today and you look at the standings. Just the game separates the Pirates and the Cardinals in the Central Division standings. As we look at the standings on the 18th of April.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Never too early. It's nice to look at.
Barrel Automotive League leaders. Most forced double play ground outs. Houston has 15. Colorado 13. The Pirates 11. Barrel Automotive. Go to barrel.com. It's definitely worth the click. Swing and a miss by Phillips. .239. Phillips struck out looking on a beautiful backdoor curveball by Paul Maholm that grazed the top of his front kneecap and then dropped down. Rob Drake rung him up. I remember when Cabrera reached base in the first inning via walk. Made a gesture toward Paul Maholm. I don't know if he was caught in between or not.
I think he was complaining to West about his leg kick and then not going home, coming to first. But Joe said, "Don't worry about it. I'll take care of those things. You just worry about running the bases."
The veteran Joe West. 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. And Phillips hits this one to deep right center field. Underneath it is McCutcheon for out number 2. Major League Baseball and People magazine are looking for individuals who make a difference in their community. 30 everyday All-Stars will be honored at the 2010 All-Star Game in Anaheim. To nominate somebody, go to peopleallstars.com. You can nominate anybody you like. Somebody in the community who's doing something special. And you can even nominate yourself. Johnny Gomes with 2 down. Breaking ball for a strike.
Paul's been very effective at getting his breaking stuff over called strikes. It always makes a big difference how aggressive the hitters can become. You put them back on their heels when you can get off-speed stuff over the count anytime you want. Charge after that fastball.
Cedeno nifty backhand, and Delwyn Young cannot hold the base. Safe at second is Cabrera, and safe at first is Gomes. And Ronnie Cedeno made a real quick throw, and it pulled Young off the bag.
It was a nice play. Umpire saying that Delwyn did not have his toe on the base when he made that catch. Just a little bit the right field. Oh, definitely. That easy call from there. You could really have the angle.
Paul Maholm now has to get an extra out. Delwyn Young played third base yesterday. Told me yesterday that when he was growing up, his grandfather ran a scout team, and whenever somebody would be taken out, that's where Delwin would play. So he played every position. He's even caught in the big leagues. He donned the catcher's equipment with the Dodgers once. Made his second major league start last night at third base. Put in so much work last year at second, especially in the second half. Carlos Garcia, the infield coach, had to work with him in spring training and deemed him ready. Made a spring training start at third. Asked him about, challenges at third base. Was he comfortable knowing where he had to be for all the cutoffs and things like that? He goes, yeah, that's the easy part. So just got to catch the ball. It's different vision-wise from where you throw it, from second to third, but you still have to plant your feet and throw over the top. Strike is called.
Take a look at that play again and watch what foot he is trying to touch the base with. It's his left foot. Now, if it's your right foot, you can reach quite a bit further. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you're trying to take a throw like a first baseman and you're right-handed, you want your right foot on the bag. You can reach twice as far.
On the run is McCutchen.
That is a
nice catch. He reached up at the right moment. Made the catch on Hannigan. So 2 men left after the first hit of the ball game. Where the Bucks offer you 2 ways to save. Purchase on the day of the game. You'll save $5 off select reserved seats. Purchase in advance and double that savings to $10 off. Purchase tickets at the PNC Park ticket windows or go online at pirates.com/AdvantageCard. No score, bottom of the 4th inning. Delwin Young takes a strike from Bronson Arroyo. Young is 0 for 1, grounded out to the shortstop Cabrera in the 1st inning. And he rips this one down the right field line. And the Pirates have their first hit of the game. Big turnaround first, and Young will have to retreat and settle for a single. Nice play by Jay Bruce on the warning track for Cincinnati.
Yeah, that was an excellent play. Definitely looked like a double coming off the bat. The ball just ripped down into that corner. Bruce not only kept it off the scoreboard, but he's got a very strong arm, and he put it on display. Cuts it off to his feet. And watch the throw right there. One hopper right on the bag.
He almost blew a tire coming around the bag there.
Scurry back. Well hit single.
And on, nobody on. McCutchen shows bunt. He draws in Paul Janish at third. Scott Rowland has not played in this series. The Reds' everyday third baseman. He's had some lower back troubles. We're also told he was battling a touch of the flu, same as Joey Votto. Rowland for the third straight day not in the lineup for Cincinnati. 2-0 to McCutchen. Rowland came over from Toronto late last season, and it was kind of a situation where Cincinnati was out of it. He just kind of played out the string when he got there. 2-0 shows bunt, takes a strike. Scott Rowland, the veteran third baseman. Two and one to Andrew McCutchen. Flat out to center field in the first. Off speed, swing and a miss, count even 2-2.
That wasn't really the break that fooled McCutchen as much as the lack of speed. That bat is through the strike zone and gone. That's already sweeping the area in front of him, out in front of home plate by the time the ball got there. The speed is what fools hitters way more than the break. Break helps, but it's the timing that you're always trying to destroy.
Yeah, one thing Bronson Arroyo has done well this year is using his changeup. Reports are it's very effective. I was talking to Jeff Brantley, Reds analyst on radio and TV, and he said that it's the best changeup that Bronson Arroyo has ever thrown out there. Arroyo picked by the Pirates in 1995 in the third round, made his big league debut in 2000 with the Bucks. And McCutchen hits this one up in the air to right field. Jay Bruce underneath it. He grabs it for the out. Let's check out today's PNC achievement. There's walk-off number 1 against the Dodgers. Lastings Millage up the middle against the Reds on Friday. Walk-off number 2. And last night, Garrett Jones, a wall ball with the bases loaded. And since Andrew McCutchen has been with this team, they ended up with 9. PNC achievement brought to you by PNC, for the achiever in us all. Hastings Millage fouls the first pitch away.
He definitely has a knack of, I like to say, causing havoc out on the bases, and so he's been in the middle of a lot of those comebacks.
Garrett Jones has been a player in that situation too.
Garrett came up right about the same time too, just a little bit later than that. Those guys have.
There's one up the middle and a base hit.
They've really changed this lineup around when they got here.
There's on first and second right now. Here comes Garrett Jones to the plate. Time for the trivia question, brought to you by AT&T Mobility. AT&T, rethink possible. When was the last time the Pirates had back-to-back walk-off wins at PNC Park? Think about that one. I'll give you the answer in just a little while.
Well, since we've had 9 since last June, it's probably recent. Don't know that it is, but
it's I would say in recent history, yeah, but maybe not as recent as you think.
Not since June.
Not since June. Well, that's a hint. I shouldn't even have gone there.
That's a good hint. No, I like giving hints. So it's not since June.
Before that. One down for Garrett Jones. First pitch from Arroyo outside, and this is what it looked like last night. Full count, 2 outs, bases loaded, and off the wall. Cedeno scores the game-winning run. That's just a long single in the scorebook. But a very big RBI. And with that RBI, he's now got 10. And he is third in the National League in runs batted in.
Well, the Pirate hitters really showing great patience to take advantage of that wildness. A lot of times, ninth inning guys are so anxious. They get up there, they're swinging at everything. And they're swinging a lot of balls. And sometimes you just like think, well, I wish they would have went up there without a bat. I think I would have walked him. Don Long, the hitting coach.
Don changed his number the other day. He was number 59. He's now number 5. And he changed that because that's the number that his dad wore, honoring his father. Jones will take a 4-pitch walk, and the bases are full of bucks for Ryan Church.
Just one out. Garrett showing patience there. And you're talking about a pitcher that's been all over the strike zone. They have a tendency to maybe be more aggressive with those kind of guys, but still, Garrett saying, well, if you're not going to throw me a strike, I'll pass the baton to Church.
Church 4 out of 10 in his career against Bronson Arroyo. He got that comeback started in the 9th last night with a pinch hit single with 1 out. Right now, a good opportunity for him with the bases full and 1 out. Ryan Church, former Met, former Brave, former National. Oh no, backs him up. 2 balls and no strikes. Church told me in Philadelphia just prior to those final exhibition games this year that he feels the Pirates are going to sneak up on people this year. (2-0), and that is a line shot off the glove of Cabrera into center field. Young scores. It is 1-0 Pirates. An RBI single for Ryan Church.
That would have been a couple runs if there had been 2 outs, but because of just 1 out, Village had to honor this line drive, actually moved back towards second base, in case Cabrera came down with it. And then all he could do was just move 90 feet into third. But Village definitely did the right thing. He did not assume that this was a base hit.
5th career hit for Ryan Church off Bronson Arroyo. He is 1 for 2. 3rd hit of the inning off of Arroyo after he went through the Pirate order 1, 2, 3 in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd inning. Bobby Crosby, who struck out swinging to end the 2nd inning. Looks at a pitch on the inside corner. Safe Auto Insurance reminds you that you are safe at home with Safe Auto, proudly supporting the Obadiah Cole Foundation for prostate cancer screening and awareness. Early detection is the cure. Strike 2 to Crosby. Village is the runner at 3rd. Over at second base, Garrett Jones. And on at 1st, Ryan Church. Church with the RBI single to get the Bucks on the board. And Crosby behind on Arroyo, 0-2. Crosby out of Long Beach State. And it hit him. And it's 2-0 Pirates. An 0-2 pitch. Bronson Arroyo hits Crosby.
That's a chance you take. It's 0-2 with the bases loaded. If you go in there every now and then, one will sail on you a little bit. Catch the hitter in the back of that arm. And that's what happened. It's a little bit of a gamble to try and throw that pitch. You know, if you miss a little bit, it's going to cost you a run. Arroyo upset with himself, but that was the decision he made, that he was going to try and throw one in under his hands. The spot he is looking at is right underneath the hitter's hands at that 0-2 pitch. Basically trying to set up getting him out of the way. With nobody on base or any kind of different situation, no big deal. You hit him, okay, you go on. But if you throw that pitch in this scenario, it'll cost you a run if it sails a little bit. And that ball had a little bit of a tail, ran right in and caught Crosby. He didn't miss his spot probably by more than about 6 or 7 inches at most from where he was trying to throw the ball. But that's all it takes.
Jason Jaramillo now to face Arroyo. Bases loaded, 1 out. Jaramillo cuts and misses. Jason would like to get a rip here. When you're playing once or twice a week, you want to make the most of your opportunities.
Jim only has 6 at-bats this season.
One and one to Jaramillo. He's got some decent power. Hit his first big league home run last year right-handed. He is a switch hitter. Wind not too much of a factor. If it's breezing anywhere, it's out toward right. One ball, 1 strike to Jaramillo. And this one is to left field, and Gomes isn't going to get it. Jones scores. Church scores. Crosby on his way. The bases are clear. 3 runs are in. It's 5-0 Pirates.
Well, we were just talking about the pressure on a guy that doesn't get much chance to get out there, and here he is, key situation, bases loaded. How good does Jaramillo feel standing at his second base right there? You don't see a lot of emotion from him right now, but I'll tell you what, he is feeling great. Clears the bases, stays under control with his swing, drives it the other way, gets it into that very deep gap. Gomes can't catch up, rolls all the way to the wall, scores everyone. Crosby slides even though there was no play. And now it was a pitcher's duel just, 10 minutes ago. We're up 5 runs. Big hit. That's how you win the ball games. Is you get the big hits when you got runners on. Bases loaded, you come through, you bust games open.
Try to bunch those hits, and the Pirates have done that this inning against Bronson Arroyo. 4 hits in the inning, a walk, and a hit batsman.
Still just 1 out.
Mulholland will go get some rest before having to come back out and pitch again. Now he'll pitch with a lead.
Sit down.
Ball's over 2.
He'll have a little comfort zone.
Jeff Clement and Garrett Jones talking about first base.
First base talk. All that. Jeff kind of trying to learn the position, and Jones, most of his life has been a first baseman, picking his brain.
Ronnie Cedeno outside ball 1.
Don't be satisfied with 5. Let's get that number 6 home. Just takes a single.
It's okay to be greedy in baseball. There's been a track record of that, both on and off the field.
Got to take advantage of this. You don't have to, but I mean, it's so sweet to get those extra runs.
Cedeno struck out looking third. Again, each pitcher had been nearly perfect through 3 innings. The only blemish was a walk by Mulholland to Cabrera. Cabrera got the first hit of the game in the 4th. This one foul. Cedeno's been doing it with the glove too lately. As spring training ended, he made a couple of errors here and there, and his thinking was get him out of the way now. You're going to make an error, going to take chances on balls, do it when the games don't count. And so far, he's been pretty good. He made the throwing error that pulled Delwyn Young off the bag, but it turned out where it didn't affect anything, at least on the scoreboard. 2-2. Cedeno so far in the season 5 for 13 with runners in scoring position. And Bronson Arroyo toiling this inning. This will be pitch number 31. Cedeno hits it pretty hard to center field. Going back is Stubbs. He's got it on the warning track. But the Pirates strike for 5 on 4 hits. Jason Jaramillo with the bases clearing double. The last time the Pirates had back-to-back walk-off wins at PNC Park, well, it was recent, but not as recently maybe as you might think. You have to go back to late May of 2008 against the Cubs. First pitch swinging, and this ball is hit high, and it's deep, and it's gone. Jay Bruce, his first home run of 2010 on the first pitch from Paul Maholm.
He has not looked good at the plate at all until that swing. He takes a lefty deep.
5-1 is the score now.
See, what was it? It was right out over the outside half of the plate, about belt high. A breaking ball. I think it was moving away.
Looked like Paul knew it instantly as soon as he heard the contact.
Might have been trying to just cut the ball a little. Yeah, there's not much doubt. It's not very deep. If you get it high and you hit it decent, it's going to go.
Pop up by Paul Janisch. Cedeno puts it away for the first out. Last time the Pirates back-to-back wins, Jason Bay. Back-to-back walk-off hits against the Cubs. Always nice to go out there and get a friendly punch in the ribs from your teammates. And Bay does it again the next day. May 24th and 25th, the last time the Bucks had back-to-back walk-off victories. And it was the same player that time providing both hits. Garrett Jones with the one last night. Bronson Arroyo, 1 ball, 1 strike. He is 0 for 1, struck out in the third. Brushed back a little bit.
That's going to remind Bronson of how things unraveled for him. He hit Crosby and then gave up the long double. That one pitch ended up costing 4 runs.
Two strikes now on Arroyo. Arroyo, another Florida guy, lives in Brooksville, Florida. But he wasn't too happy when the Reds moved from Florida to Arizona for spring training. Probably upset his spring training housing.
I'm not sure where Brooksville is.
It's in Florida.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it's in up by Jacksonville, for instance, it probably wouldn't have changed things around too much.
Well, I can narrow it down for you. It's by the water.
Brooksville?
Yeah. Strike 3. And twice now, Arroyo has gone down on strikes. This day in Pirates history, April 18th, 1955, Roberto Clemente hits his first career home run. It was a solo shot to left center field at the Polo Grounds off Don Little. Thanks to Day Automotive for this day in Pirates history. First of a number of them for Roberto Clemente, who finished with exactly 3,000 hits. Drew Stubbs with 2 outs. He's behind 0-2. Quick work. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to Mr. Stubbs from Paul Mahalo. The home run by Bruce, and then 3 sat down in a row. Go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Andy LaRoche replica game jerseys today being given out. Fortunately, Andy can't play. He's got the back spasms. Delwin Young started in his spot yesterday at third. Andy expects to take advantage of the day off tomorrow. And the original word from John Russell yesterday was they expect Andy to be able to play against Milwaukee on Tuesday.
Both teams going without their normal third baseman because of those back problems. Ironic.
Delwin Young had the first Pirates hit today. He led things off in the 4th with a single. He would score.
Of course, Ross Ollendorf on the DL with those same back spasms. Is it like a virus that causes that or something?
Whatever it is, it appears to be contagious.
It's going around the major leagues. There's a number of people that are on the shelf. Back spasms.
2-2 to Delwin. With Andy the other night, he just sort of locked up at first base. They threw over twice, and the second time he just sort of nonchalantly said to first base coach Carlos Garcia, I'm in trouble here. Get the trainer. 2-2, and it's rolled up the right side. But Ollendorf says he feels pretty good. There are the trainers right there on the right. Brad Henderson, Mike Sandoval on the left. But Ross says he'll be better soon, and he is eligible to come off the disabled list on the 27th. That is when the Pirates are in Milwaukee on the next road trip.
Hadn't been out there for a while, though. He'll most likely get a rehab start somewhere.
That's possible. Too cool for school. How about that kid with the shades?
Keep his eyeballs warm on a day like this.
Is that what they do?
Yeah.
2-2. Strike 3. Young is now 1 out of 3. Play ball for the chance to have your team recognized as the Trib Total Media Youth Baseball or Softball Team of the Month. Write a short essay to baseball@fsnpittsburgh.net telling us why, and your team could be featured during a Trib Total Media Pirates pregame show. Might be under the age requirement there. A little early for that, young one, but well, no reason to hide. Get online and fsnpittsburgh.net.
That's what you have to do if you don't have the sunglasses to keep your eyeballs warm. You gotta look through the fur. It's like an Alaskan Malamute.
Is there any vision through that hood? Must be able to see just underneath the fur. 2-1. See, there's a little opening in there.
Looks warm. Oh. I don't blame whoever that is. I had to go throw my heavy coat on too. I was trying to tough it out with just the sport coat, but couldn't do it.
Three and 1 to McCutchen.
Pirate fan had some ear warmers.
Like they're built in. His ear warmers came with his head. Full count pitch coming.
Nope, he didn't go.
And Joe West agrees. And McCutchen is aboard with 1 out.
Really gave it a thought. Nah, ball 4.
McCutchen was thrown out stealing for the first time last night.
Surprising things of the game. He was going to get thrown out. Joe telling him, next time don't leave the bat out there and don't show me how far he's. Just drop the bat. Act like you didn't swing. Because I was wondering about the way he reacted to it. It looked like he was walking back to the dugout, didn't it, at first?
Millage to right. Jay Bruce make the catch, 2 down.
And I think that's what that conversation between Joe West and Andrew was about. But hey, unless you want me to punch you out, they'll be starting back to the dugout.
Andrew probably a word of thanks.
Now Andrew played it off like he was just getting rid of his shin guard. There they are, talking it over. Joe's been around a long, long time. We've seen a lot of great players. I'm sure he recognizes the future greatness in Andrew. A talented young baseball player.
McCutchen off of first base. Garrett Jones takes inside. 1 ball and no strikes to Jones. Jones hasn't homered since the second game of the season. He has 3 on the year. Became the first Pirate in the history of the franchise to hit 3 home runs in his first 5 at bats. That would be 5 at bats to start a season.
He spread those 3 around. One was deep right field, 1 right down the left field line, and 1 to center field.
Hit it just to the right of the shrubbery out in center field that says Pirates. There's Pirates carved out of it. He awaits the 1-1 from Arroyo. McCutchen takes off. Pitches a strike. Throw is into center field. And McCutchen pulls up. He's headed to third.
havoc. He causes havoc.
Good weapon to have.
Not much chance. Maybe a throw right on the bag would have made it close, but anything that's off any direction, he's in there just so easily. And he slides late and hard with that pop-up type slide and puts him in perfect position to quickly get over to third base. Pitch was called a strike. I thought it was a little outside and low, but it was called a strike, so Garrett only one left to try and drive him in.
2-2. Get a good look at where the location of this pitch is.
Yeah, no, that was on the outside corner. That was a good call. It didn't look very good because of the way Hannigan jumped outside to get himself in a position to make that throw.
2-2. He struck him out. And McCutchen, after stealing his 7th base, is stuck at third. Four hits and 1 run on 2 hits for Cincinnati. Paul Maholm starts the 6th against Orlando Cabrera. Joey Votto and Brandon Phillips 2, 3, and 4 in the Cincinnati order. Along with Bob Walk, Tim Neverett with you on this Sunday afternoon at PNC Park. Cabrera has reached base twice, once via the walk and once with a base hit. He had the first hit for the Reds, first hit of the ball game, as a matter of fact, in the 4th inning. Veteran shortstop. 1-1.
Nice amount of pine tar already. Just what are we, 11, 12 games into the season. He's already got the C covered up.
That might be a trick that he picked up in Boston, because in 2004 with the Red Sox, he was the starting shortstop, and a lot of those guys had pine tar covered helmets. Line drive to left, long run for Millage. He ties it, makes a sensational grab. Lastings Millage, the masked man, robbing Cabrera.
I like that, the masked man robbing Cabrera. Very good. Nice play, Lastings.
Here is Votto. Votto 0 for 2 after having a big night last night, going 3 out of 4. Outfielder makes a catch like that. What does it do for the pitcher's confidence? What do you do when you see the next hitter come?
I mean, it's like it's no different than the Cedeno play earlier. Just, you give a little bit of a Fist pump, that away, guys. Way to pick me up. And, you know, when somebody messes one up, you got to have the same reaction. It's like, hey, okay, errors are part of the game. Great plays on defense are part of the game. You got to keep that even keel. That's part of being consistent out on the mound. You accept the good stuff and the bad stuff in the same way. You got to turn the page quickly.
Ground ball to second. Elwin Young double clutches and throws out Joey Votto. For the first 5 innings, compare the starters. Hits are pretty close, 4-2, but pitches thrown. Bronson Arroyo had a very tough 4th inning when he faced 9 men.
Well, Paul's got 81 pitches right now. If he can get this 3rd out, you know, say with 85 pitchers on the board, 6 innings, 85 pitches, that's nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, he's looking with the lead of getting into the 8th inning perhaps, which would be great for the bullpen. And that's one thing we are definitely looking for this year is the starters to go deeper in the ball game, take some pressure off the bullpen, and they can be even better than they have been. But that's an important factor as we get into the meat part of this season, is that the starters get on a little bit of a roll with their innings pitched. And I look at what has happened right now with a positive view that, okay, yeah, they've been shaky. We haven't gotten a lot of really good starts, but look at the standings. We're 6-5 without that. So I'm liking it.
You like it? Gotta like what you see so far. Phillips flies out to center. Church, Crosby, and Jaramillo coming. It is the Coors Light 6th inning. Time to check out the Coors Light freeze cam. Watch first baseman Garrett Jones. Paul Giannis, 2nd inning. Lines one. Jones climbs the ladder and snapped this one right out of midair. That's the Coors Light freeze cam, brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Ryan Church starts things off. Takes inside ball 1 from Bronson Arroyo.
They've all been freeze cams the last 2 games. It's cold out here.
It's just freeze all the way around.
It set the Coors Light just right out in the open in the mountains that turn blue.
Nothing wrong with a little Rocky Mountain spring water. 2-0 to Church. One of the multitude of breaking balls.
That's a freeze cam.
That's a freeze cam right there.
Yeah.
That's Mr. Freeze operating it.
Good day to bundle up. This might be the last one, though, of the year. Warm up a little bit tomorrow, and I think that'll be it.
Looking forward to some good weather against Milwaukee Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday's a day game, getaway day, 12:35 start. And then I don't think we have to worry about the weather on the next road trip.
We won't be back until the first week of May. And by then, all the cool weather will be long gone.
Also gone there, Ryan Church. He strikes out. Now 1 out of 3. Blanket's okay for today. Says, what happened? I missed it. There she is again. Want to know to Crosby. On the road again. Don't have to worry about weather there. Houston, retractable roof. Milwaukee, retractable roof. And Los Angeles, Southern California weather. There for 4 with the Dodgers. And then don't see the Dodgers again until 2011.
Ain't done with it.
Dodgers off to a tough start.
It's one of the things that came with interleague play and expansion. Both those things kind of made it to where you don't see the other divisions. But once, a couple of exceptions, but not many.
The 2-1 to Bobby Crosby. And because of interleague play, the Pirates will make another trip to the West Coast in June to play Crosby's former team, the Oakland Athletics. Be his first trip into the Coliseum since leaving the A's. And he walks. 1-out walk issued. Crosby down to first. Johnson Arroyo has allowed another base runner, and the man who had the big blow clearing the bases with a double, Jason Jaramillo, coming to the plate. Pretty effective in the first, second, and third, but that 4th inning.
31 pitches.
There were almost as many pitches in the 4th as he did in the first, second, and third combined.
Yeah, you would imagine, unless gets lucky with a double play ball, that good chance he's going to be into the hundreds by the time he gets through the 6th inning. Cueto last night threw over 100 through 5 innings.
It seemed like he was in a full count on most hitters he faced. That's why he ended up throwing so many pitches. And you'd figure if you're in a full count most of the time, you're going to throw more balls than strikes. He actually threw more strikes than balls. So a lot of balls were fouled away. Dusty Baker.
Always has that toothpick.
He's got a lifetime supply of those. The 2-0 pitch coming from Arroyo. Although will be no no-hitter against the Braves today. Both Colorado and Atlanta have scored runs. It's 2-1. Atlanta in the 5th. Ubaldo Jimenez, the story in baseball. There's no hitter last night. He's just 26 years old, too, Bob. Came up at age 20. And when he did come up, he could really throw. He could still throw. But he didn't know where the ball was going when it left his hand. Now he knows how to pitch.
He probably, I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head, has the best fastball of any of the starting pitchers in the league.
Crosby takes off, and Jaramillo hits it into right field. Crosby didn't see it. Now he takes off for third. So the same result. A hit and run with a pause in the middle.
Well, I'm guessing that was a straight steal. If he was, he's not looking at all. On any kind of a hit and run or anything, you take a peek. But Crosby had his head down looking at the ground the whole time, and then made the cardinal sin of letting the shortstop influence what you're doing. He should have paid no attention to what the shortstop was doing and looked right at Tony Beasley. Didn't matter. He got the third anyway, but it took a little while for him to get over there. Jaramillo having a strong day with the bat.
Now with 1 out, Paul Mahalam's going to square. Arroyo delivers, and that is a strike. Watch the third baseman Giannis come off. That'll allow Crosby to get off farther.
Yeah, if Paul was to put the ball down toward third base and have Giannis come in and field it, you would think Crosby would be able to follow him down the line and just walk in for the score.
Here comes the pitch out.
And Crosby was coming down the line a little bit, but there's nobody. You got the shortstop breaking over towards second base. Giannis is down in here. There's nobody around third, so what the heck? Just come on down the line. You can come halfway down the line as the throw goes to first and just walk the rest of the way to the plate.
Mahalam pulls it back and takes a ball.
Crosby's not taking advantage of it, though. I mean, you see how far he could have came down? He's got to follow Giannis down the line. When Giannis comes down into this area, Crosby could be standing right there. Throw goes to first, you score.
Mahalam lays off the breaking pitch, and it's 2-2.
What Giannis is hoping is that he gets the ball soon enough to where he can go second to first and get a double play. Now, if he can go up to second and get the ball over to first base in time, it won't matter if we score because that'll be the third out. But you're betting a lot on a double play. But really, there's not a whole lot else you can do.
Ball once foul, and he strikes out. And if there's a silver lining in that at bat, they stayed out of the double play.
Well, that's why you always have your pitcher bunting. You don't let the pitcher swing away there.
Two men out, and Ronnie Cedeno will take his turn at the plate.
And normally when you're trying to bunt a guy to second base, you always bunt toward first. But that is a scenario there to where if you lay it down to third, you can get yourself a cheap run.
Nice ball inside.
Mentioned before, Chuck Tanner actually had a sign for that play where he would want you to bunt the ball and make the third baseman handle it.
Right-hander Mike Lincoln is up and warming. First activity Cincinnati has had in their bullpen. Bottom of the sixth of a 5-1 game. 1-1 to Cedeno. Mahalam on the mound has given up just 2 hits, 1 run. No activity at all in the Pirates' pen. Runners off first and third. Jaramillo at first, Crosby at third. 1-1. This one to left. It'll hang up for Gomes. And the Pirates will strand 2 in the inning. On to the 7th we go. Bucks 5, Reds 1. has a double and 3 runs batted in. He's 2 for 3. Ryan Church 1 for 3, driven in a run. Jay Bruce had a solo home run into the bleachers in right over the Roberto Clemente wall. Paul Maholm starting off Johnny Gomes.
Yeah, the offense has been very efficient in this game. There's 7 base hits total and 6 runs have been scored.
And through the first third of the game, the first 3 innings, nothing. Bronson Arroyo was perfect through 3. Maholm almost perfect with just a walk. And then 4th inning, the Reds got a hit. And the Pirates ended up getting 5 runs, sending 9 to the plate. Chopper that is going to stay fair. And a base hit for Gomes.
Nothing you can do. Gotta just let it roll. Hope it goes foul.
Leadoff single for Johnny Gomes.
A base hit. It rolls down and bounces off the corner of the bag. Crosby even plays the Karen perfectly. Sets himself up right side. Like he knew it was going to bounce sideways when he came off the bag.
Joel Hanrahan now warming up for the Pirates. 4-run lead, top of the 7th. Leadoff man is on, and the catcher Ryan Hannigan, who lined out very deep to center field his last time up, hit the ball on the nose. Andrew McCutchen would track it down. He also lined out to the pitcher Maholm. Maholm made that nice snow cone grab over the line drive in the 2nd inning. One ball, no strikes. 2-0. Maholm would love to have a ground ball here. Gets the strike instead. 2-1. Hannigan last year series in Pittsburgh suffered a concussion and missed some time. At first,
that move that Paul has really been going to a lot. That's the first time I've seen it this game, but in spring training and first couple of starts, he's been doing this all the time. That step off and quick throw over instead of the traditional left-handed move. He's already very good at holding runners on. But he's trying to even get better, adding a little something to his repertoire.
Church going back. He's got some room, and he makes a fine over-the-shoulder catch. Good work in right field by Ryan Church, and Hannigan is gone. Gomes has to retreat to first base.
I could tell by watching Church that he had a beat on it, because he's going to look back and check the track just to see where he is. Just before that, he takes a quick look to see how far away he is from the track, and then looks back up to find the baseball. Anytime I see a guy checking, for room like that, and he's still got a long ways to go to the fence, then I got a good feeling that he's going to make that catch. Now, if he's checking for room and he's already at the track, then I don't have a good feeling.
Ball's probably out.
Yeah.
What's the worst one, when you just see the right fielder or outfielder just turn around? Or not even turn around?
No, when he just keeps looking right at you. That's the worst one. Of course, you don't see that because you never look either. You're standing there looking at the umpire like, I need a new ball.
Give me the ball,
that one's in orbit. There's a traditional move. Excuse me. But Paul could give you a lot of looks over there as a base runner. Be quick to home with the slide step at times if he wants. You know, all that stuff is easy to do, but the hard thing to do is to mix all that stuff in and still be consistent with your deliveries to the plate.
Armio having a word with Mahalam. Pirates are getting to a point in the game where they didn't necessarily want to have to go to the bullpen, but if they do in the 7th, and this is how they built their bullpen from the back end in, and they feel that the bridges to the bullpen would be able to handle a game like this. Shallow left and down the line. Millage underneath it. Here's today's Plays That Made You Smile, brought to you by our friends at Aspen Dental. All Mahalam. Strike. Sit down.
He was very aggressive in the strike zone right from the very start of the ball game, and not a lot of messing around, especially with his breaking ball, able to throw strikes early and get that established.
Those are the plays that make you smile, brought to you by our friends at Aspen Dental.
And that really set up the day for him, and the red hitters had to deal with more than one pitch, and that's what messes up the timing. You get the slow stuff over and fastball on the hands. They got to cover both pitches. It's very hard to do.
Paul Janish 0 for 2, a line out and a ground out, a line out and a pop out, excuse me. And the 8th spot for this Reds team continues to struggle no matter who is in it. Now, last year, 2009, look at the production they got out of number 8. 41 runs scored, 46 runs batted in, worst in Major League Baseball. The pitchers, and it's a different guy every night, scored 44 runs. And the number 8 hitters in this series, hitless. Armio took a pretty good hit.
Shook him up a little. Look at him. Until, wow. The expression on his face as he was, looking up. And I think that he's going to have a standing, what do you call it, standing 10 count?
Standing 8 count.
Standing 8 count, yeah.
Well, I know Brad Henderson, the trainer, is out to have a look at him. Make sure that Jaramillo doesn't think he's in Racine, Wisconsin or something.
He's answering all the questions, hopefully correctly.
Smile on JR's face. He's been through it before himself a number of times, a former catcher.
Well, that one was just, it wasn't a glancing blow at all. That got him really hard. You could tell it stuck him. That was it last year? The year before? I think it was last year where Doman had to miss some time just from getting hit in the mask with foul balls.
Paul Janish fouls it away. And again, I mentioned Ryan Hannigan. He had the same thing happen to him here in August. And he went on the disabled list. And to leave the game. Micah Owings. How about that? There's Doman. 2-2. To left. This is going to be trouble for Millage. Gomes is going to get waved home. Here's the relay, and it's offline. Mahalam backing up, and into third goes Janish. It is now 5-2.
Good job by Paul. He's back there for that reason. That throw's coming in from the relay guy. It's just he's whirling and throwing it as hard as he can toward the plate. And it's not always going to be a perfect throw on line. You got to be back there in the right spot. A little parachute drop into the grass. It just sits there. Millage tracks it down, and the throw up the first baseline.
So a double for Janish. He goes to third on the relay throw home. Gets the RBI and makes it a 3-run game at 5-2. And that will chase Paul Mahalam. And Paul Mahalam. It's a nice hand as he leaves the mound Paul Mulholland leaves after 6 2/3 innings. Joel Hanrahan comes on. Pirates post game coming up next with extended highlights and analysis. Plus our closer, Kent Tekulve, is ready to answer your questions and break down key plays. Pirates post game next on FSN. Michael Owings takes ball 1 from Hanrahan. Owings is a pitcher by trade, but also a pinch hitter part-time. 2-0.
Hanrahan's numbers on the early year. Not really much to talk about. Just 2 2/3 innings pitched.
There's a line drive that's foul. Sounds like Owings broke his bat.
Yeah, that one got in on him a little bit.
Well, Owings is the first option, at least he has been in this series, off the bench as a pinch hitter. And it's quite a luxury for a manager to have 6 guys on the bench to hit rather than just the regular 5. But watching Mike Leake on Friday night, the rookie out of Arizona State, handle the bat, he's just months removed from his last at bat at Arizona State. A lot of times guys get drafted, they go in the minor leagues, the bat goes away for a while. And in college, normally you don't hit, but for Mike Leake, he actually was used at Arizona State as a designated hitter on days he didn't pitch. So he knew how to handle the bat, and Dusty Baker might have 2 options off the bench from his pitching staff to go to, Owings and Leake.
Well, if you're going to do that, it's nice to have that option in the starting rotation, not in your bullpen. You use him for a pinch hitter, you lose him
right
for pitching that game, and that's what's going to happen with Owings.
2-2. Struck him out. Hanrahan slams the door on the Reds in the 7th. It is stretch time at PNC Park. Pirates 5, Reds 2. Gallardo and Duke on Wednesday, then Wolf and Daniel McCutcheon on Thursday. And the Pirates back out on the road again for a long 10-day road trip. If you joined us late, here's how the Pirates scored. It was in the 4th inning. Ryan Church, today's right fielder, with an RBI single. Bobby Crosby was hit by a pitch. Another run would come in. Then Jason Jaramillo with the bases loaded. Hit it over the head of Gomes into left field. Crosby came in. He had some people in front of him with Church. And Jones as well. So a 3-run double for Jaramillo, and it is now 5-2. Reds with those single runs in the 5th and 7th innings. Delwyn Young getting set to lead off in the bottom of the 7th. He'll be followed by Andrew McCutchen and Lastings Millage. And 6 2/3 for Paul Mahalenbach. Quality start.
Heck yeah, he did an outstanding job. You see, the Reds have gone to Mike Lincoln. There's his numbers on the season. But yeah, Paul did a great job today. He gave up just 4 hits, and really that 4th hit was just a fly ball. So I was very impressed with everything that Paul did today. And as I was saying earlier, I think that his ability to throw breaking balls for strikes just at will, especially early in the game, really set things up nicely for him today.
So Arroyo done after 6 innings. 5 runs on 5 hits, walked 3, hit a man, struck out 7. He is on the hook for Cincinnati. Paul Mahalen, pitcher of record to the good for the Pirates. Pirates with a 3-run lead. Delwyn Young trying to get things going again for them offensively. He singled in the 4th inning and scored. Here's Brendan Donnelly. Veteran right-hander starting to loosen up. Shallow left center. Stubbs has it. 1 down. Well, come celebrate Earth Day at PNC Park this Thursday as the Bucks host the Brewers in a 12:35 matinee game. All fans receive a Pirates recycled green cap, courtesy of Waste Management. And it's a T-shirt Thursday. Charlie Morton with a T-shirt. For tickets, visit Pirates.com. Let's go Bucks. Let's go green. Ross Ollendorfer modeled the hat. 1 out, and Andrew McCutchen takes a strike. He's got the right shopping bag. That's the
timing, huh?
Reusable shopping bag from last year. Good all year long. 1-1. McCutchen without a hit today. He has reached base safely in 8 straight games. 10 of his first 12. He did walk back in the 5th, stole his 7th base, went down to 3rd base on a throwing error by catcher Ryan Hannigan. One out in the 1-2 from Lincoln. And McCutchen down on strikes.
Yeah, Lincoln's always had that fine curveball of his. Messed up his elbow for a while, and didn't pitch for about 1.5 years. I was wondering if it would affect his curveball coming back, which you could see from that shot. Maybe didn't throw it quite as hard as he used to, but it'll still fall off the table.
Spins Lastings Millage out of the way.
And that one didn't fall as far. That was more like a coffee table.
Just a coffee.
Yeah, just dropped.
Not a kitchen table. Just a knee-high coffee table. 34-year-old Mike Lincoln delivers a strike.
And fastball at 88. Before he got his elbow hurt, he was 90, 91, 92 at times.
Shot down to 3rd. Giannis up with it. And Mike Lincoln makes quick work of his former team, delivering only 8 pitches to get 3 outs.
A big part in that second inning. I think that's all the second inning, those 3 outs you see there. But been very important. Garrett Jones did a great job over at first base, kind of filling in this afternoon. There you see the Millage catch as he robbed extra bases. The masked man in left field.
Cedeno throwing the leather around a little bit himself. There's Millage, the bandit. He's got that mask on. And here is the guy with the glasses, Brendan Donnelly. Remember, he used to wear those big, chunky plastic glasses when he was with the Angels.
American League.
Well, you didn't watch the American
League. I don't watch American League baseball. So I don't remember.
They have 3 outs in an inning over there?
I don't remember. I wouldn't know.
Just thought I'd ask. The Angels were your team, though, growing up, weren't they?
Yeah, the last time I watched American League baseball, I was 15.
Is that right? Here's Drew Stubbs facing Donnelly. Donnelly, the veteran. Took Donnelly a long time to get to the big leagues. Last year, he got back to the big leagues with Miami. He was very successful.
Surprised the American League didn't use aluminum bats.
Don't give him any ideas. 2-0 to Stubbs. Now, what does he hate so much about the American League?
It's not baseball.
They play with a baseball.
You can play with a baseball.
They use bats.
You can play catch in your backyard with a baseball. It's not baseball. By baseball, I'm talking about the game. They don't play by the rules.
3-0's outside and low, and Donnelly walks the leadoff man here. Drew Stubbs. Well, by rules, you mean one rule in particular, right? The designated hitter rule. Donnelly started with the White Sox in the Gulf Coast League in '92, made his big league debut in 2002. Long journey for Donnelly with the Angels. 2007 with Boston and with Cleveland in '08. Last year with Florida. Finds the strike zone on Orlando Cabrera. George Kerrigan, pitching coach. He's seen a lot of these guys. He likes what Donnelly brings to the table. Donnelly right now off the table with another ball. Kerrigan just hanging up the phone there moments ago. Now activity quickly stirring in the Pirates bullpen. Not satisfied with the start of Donnelly. One. Slowly hit ground ball to second. They'll only get one. That ball just died when it hit the grass. Now let's check out the minor league connection brought to you by easytouse.com. Steve Pearce continues to hit the ball very well in AAA. .389 average. Jim Negridge, former Pitt Panther at AA Altoona, 2 for 5 with a home run, 4 runs batted in. And in Bradenton, Tony Sanchez continues to hit. He's been playing designated hitter a bit. A little sore, and we'll get him back behind the plate before long.
During our open, we were talking about the comeback in the 9th inning in last night's game, and that the 3 walks help. And I pointed out that the 3 walks is good, but they come because of patience. The hitters, you allow the pitcher to help you out with walks. That's one of the reasons where you hear some of the old school guys saying take a strike when you're behind and that sort of thing. Taking advantage of what the pitcher is going to give you by being patient at the plate and not being over aggressive late in the ball game. That last ground ball to second base that was hit by Cabrera, that ball was probably 3 inches off the ground when he hit it. He was not showing any patience. That would have been ball 2. It would have probably bounced up to the plate, but he went after it, and the little worm burner out to second base, an easy out. And that's part of the ball game. It's not always about the pitcher being wild. It's about the hitters showing some patience and not chasing balls.
Donnelly hit that one past Votto.
And that was a perfect example of what we didn't do in last night's game in that 9th inning. Our hitters would not chase. They made him throw strikes, and Cordero couldn't do it.
Stubbs at second base, 1-2 to Votto.
That's why that ground ball hugged the ground, like you said. It started out hugging the ground.
It did. It came in front of home plate, and then just slowed down.
Where it hit the bat was only an inch or two off the ground, and it just never got any higher. But especially when you're down by 3 runs, you really want to be conscious of just swinging at strikes. Want to build any kind of a comeback.
Donnelly's 1-2. In the air to left, going back, Millage. Millage to the track. He's got it.
So the Millage people said.
He is acknowledging the Millage people.
Take a look at the pitch. Bell high. It was up a little bit. Votto, I think he thinks he might have it. He didn't take off running real quick. And I wasn't sure, but there's that look. Millage takes the look before he gets to the track. That's always a good sign. Nice play.
Lone Ranger. Pitch outside to Phillips.
Big left field here. 383, pretty much a straightaway left field. A lot of long fly balls are turned into outs in our left field.
This one looks like it's playable again for Millage. And he's got it. And Donnelly gets through the 8th. To the bottom of the 8th, Jones, Church, and Crosby coming up for the Pirates. Live or on demand on your computer. Visit Pirates.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. 0-1 to the first baseman, Garrett Jones. I like that MLB.tv.
I know you do.
I watch it all the time.
If you could get one channel, and that was it, that would be your pick.
That'd be all right. Settle for that. Pizza come with it?
That's all you need.
0-2. And Jones trying to find a hit today. He walked and scored in the 4th. Flied out and struck out.
Hits are hard to come by this afternoon for either team. Just 5 for the Pirates and 4 for the Redlegs.
On the ground to second base. Phillips throws out Jones, and there is one away. In case you missed it around the major leagues, Milwaukee Brewers pounded the ball. Craig Counsell, 3rd career grand slam. They got 10 runs in the 1st. They currently lead Washington 10-5 in the 6th. Irvin Santana, complete game for the Angels. They beat the Blue Jays. Cole Hamels, pretty good outing with the Marlins. Marlins lead at 1-0. And Matt Garza, 5 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts. Rays leading the Red Sox. They've been taking care of business in Boston. They won the continuation of the suspended game in 12 innings, playing 3 of those 12 last night. Then they went and beat them again in a regulation game. Now Tampa Bay is leading in the 6th, 6-0. Chicago losing to Houston yesterday, but they're on top 2-0. Playing in the 6th inning at Wrigley Field. 1-1 to Church.
Curveball still being very effective for Lincoln. Nobody really centering one up. Dotel getting ready.
3-run lead for the Pirates, and if they can get another one here, that would be a bonus. Church again takes inside, 2-2. Bobby Crosby on deck. Here comes the 2-2. And Church sends it to center field. Drew Stubbs waits and grabs it for out number 2. Mike Lincoln, pretty good job in relief. He's set down 5 in a row.
Pirates having a big 5th inning, and that's been the ball game and the difference. And Crosby, even though he didn't do anything with the bat that inning, he was still maybe the big part. As he took a fastball off the arm, drove in a run with that.
And it was an 0-2 pitch from Bronson Arroyo. Hit him.
Came up, got him right in the back of the arm. And Jaramillo with the big bases loading double. And that's it. 5-2.
And it's 0-2 again on Crosby. Mike Lincoln pumping in strikes. Crosby made his first start of the season at shortstop on the 8th of April against the Dodgers. 0-2 pitch. 1-2.
Nice spot though, Crosby. Excuse me, Lincoln just trying to pick that outside corner. Just about did it. Try again.
And that one toward the middle. Backhand grab by Phillips. And he got it.
That's a Gold Glove type play from a Gold Glover.
Boy, oh boy, Brandon Phillips, a spectacular play to take a hit away from Bobby Crosby. Brandon Phillips Jay Bruce. Deep blast over the Clemente wall in right field. That was in the 5th inning. That's the cold, hard blast brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. And the Brooms are out.
You know, a solo home run with a 5-0 lead, I got no problem with that. Going right after the hitters, that's going to happen sometimes. But that was a blemish, but it wasn't much of one.
So Octavio Dotel, those are his numbers.
He's the closer. Last one out has to sweep the floor, so he's got the broom.
Dotel will face Gomes.
3 outs.
Hannigan and Bruce to follow. Dotel delivers a strike.
Dotel coming down off the mound, asking if he could blow on his hand. Wanted to make sure that was okay. On a day like today, I can't imagine him ever saying no.
Strike 2. Octavio Dotel was part of one of the better bullpens we've seen in recent years in Houston. He teamed with Brad Lidge and Billy Wagner. And Dotel has more strikeouts than both of those guys.
He was the sandwich.
Strike 3 called.
1, 2, 3. Didn't mess around. Yeah, it was Lidge. He'd come in and throw the 7th. Dotel would throw the 8th. And Wagner would finish up. Between the 3 of those guys, the fastballs would be around 97 to 102. They would bring some gas.
Good start for Octavio Dotel. 3-pitch strikeout. Got Gomes to look at it. Gomes 1 out of 4. Now Hannigan 0 for 3. Hannigan hit the ball well in the 4th inning. Drove it to deep center. But McCutchen got on his horse and tracked it down on the track. Pirates have the day off tomorrow. It's rare to have 2 days off on one homestand, but
yeah,
they'll have it.
They had a Thursday, Monday. That's not going to happen very often.
Strike. Next telecast of Wednesday's game, as Giovanni Gallardo will pitch against Zach Duke. That'll be a real good pitching matchup. Dave Bush and Charlie Morton on Tuesday, radio only game. Just low. 2-1. And Thursday, the 12:35 matinee. That's getaway day. And it's on to the plane and off to Houston, Texas to visit the Astros for the first time this season. 2-1 delivery. Fouled away.
Well, let's hope that Houston stays playing the same type of baseball they've been playing. They're off to a horrible start, just 2-9.
And losing again in the 7th to the Cubs. Last time Pirates broomed an opponent mid-August against the Brewers. They had 3 3-game sweeps last year. They swept the Mets June 1st through the 4th. And early, Florida was off to the best start in baseball. They came in and cooled them off, swept them from April 20th through April 22nd. And the last time they swept the Reds here at PNC Park was April 11th, 12th, and 13th, 2008. 2-2. Strike 3 call. Dotel with 2 looking strikeouts. And now Jay Bruce will come to the plate.
Yeah, it's a case of, I think, the Reds trying to make him throw strikes and showing that patience I was talking about. And Dotel up to the task, saying, okay, you take the close ones because they're going to be strikes. They're trying not to help him out, trying to make sure they hit strikes. but that's what Dotel's throwing.
Brooms are at the ready. This one high and deep and way back, and it is out of here.
That's off the back fence at the very top of the stands. Bruce gets 2 home runs. It's his second cold blast of the game.
Wow.
I think this one a breaking ball that hooked it right down the line. They hit that back fence right at the very top of the stands. Down by the all-you-can-eat section. That one just another couple of feet and it would have been over and into the water.
Chris Dickerson will pinch hit. He takes a strike. Dickerson hitting for Giannis.
Yeah, you can see that fence that runs along the top row. There's the ball.
That's a thrill for the kid, no doubt. 0-1. Strike 2. And the Reds down to their final strike, and Octavio Dotel looking to strike out the side. Fans on their feet at PNC. The 0-2. We'll do it again. Octavio Dotel trying to put a wrapper on this one. Here's the 0-2. Got him! Strike 3. Dotel strikes out the side, and the Bucks broom the Reds. They've won 3 in a row. Go to 7-5. If the Mets beat St. Louis tonight, Pirates will pull into a first-place tie in the Central.
Just what they needed from Paul Maholm. Paul got just what Paul needed. He wanted to go out and really throw a dominant type game, and he did this afternoon. They hardly touched him. Outstanding job. We got an excellent effort from the starting pitcher. We needed that and got the Brooms out. It was a tough road trip. We got beat up a little bit in a couple of games out on the road. It was nice to come back and start things off here at home with a sweep of a division foe, no less.
Our next telecast of Pirates baseball will be Wednesday night for Game 2 of the Pirates' upcoming 3-game series with the Brewers. Giovanni Gallardo takes on Zach Duke. Our coverage begins with the Trip Total Media Pirates pregame show at 6:30. Then Bob Walk and I will bring you the call beginning at 7 o'clock right here on FSN Pittsburgh, bringing the game to you. So for my partner Bob Walk and our entire FSN crew, this is Tim Neverett reminding you to stay tuned